which I shouldn't be telling people this. Hey, Bianca here, and welcome to Teach Like Bianca. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what is in my teacher bag. Let's go ahead and get started. The first things first, let's go ahead and talk about my bag. The one that I have is actually a Herschel bag that I got from Nordstrom. It actually broke, which there is a warranty. I just haven't sent it in. There's a flap that goes here that buttons, and it's not ideal, but I was really going for the aesthetic because it looks really, I like the way that it looks. And if you open it up, there's not a lot of room on the inside. It has this Herschel stitching that Herschel usually has. And Herschel actually gives a warranty. You guys can see some pen marks from when I put my pens and stuff in here. But it just has one zipper area that you can drop things in right here. And I just throw in pens in there, sometimes some sticky notes. Nothing really exciting. But the first thing that I have in here is my laptop. And this is a laptop that I use for work that is work issued. And my laptop is one of the biggest reasons why I carry a bag like this to work every single day. So I used to write IEPs and have IEP meetings, so I would bring my laptop home every single night. And I still do. The next thing I have is a notebook, just like this, just, you know, your 10-cent notebook that you buy at the beginning of the school year. I have a bunch of these. I keep these on hand for my students and for myself, but every single year I start a fresh one and I take notes throughout the school year that are just things that are filled up from different meetings, or maybe copies that I need to make, notes that I have written down in the classroom that I need to remember, just a variety of things that are in this notebook. And I have a bunch of these notebooks. I probably have one for every single year that I use because I like keep track of all my things in one place for the school year. So if I ever need to reflect and look back, I can just look at my notebook. And the last big item that I carry inside of my bag is a planner. So I actually made this planner. It's a printable planner. And I just created it based off of how I like the layout of my planner because I couldn't find one at the store. I just printed out and put it in a little, this size binder. I'm not quite sure what size this is, but it's like this one of the smallest ones. And then I keep that with me because I take notes as well in my planner. I also have a desk planner at my desk at work that I also use to quickly jot down things in meetings. And I like calendars, planners, and things like that. I like to be organized, even though sometimes it doesn't look like I'm organized. There are things that I like to have, and I even still use like the calendar that's on my computer through Google, it might be through Outlook with you, but from there I transfer it onto my desk planner, and then from there it goes into here, which when I write IEPs, these all go in. So now let's get into the small section. What's inside of this little area? What do I carry in there? I have lotion. my hands get dry. I actually have lotion in my classroom. I have lotion here. I have it in my car. I have it everywhere. I don't like to have dry hands, and I get dry hands, especially with the season the way it is right now. Little lotions like this everywhere. So I keep one in my bag too. Now let's surprisingly go in here. Oh, I have an inhaler. I have asthma. I carry one everywhere. I have one in my purse, in my car, in my bag. I have one everywhere because I sometimes get into coughing fits where I cough a lot, and I need this to just calm my lungs down. So an inhale. Next, let's go in and dig around. Oh, I have some pens. These are just some pens that I have. I actually carry a lot of different pens with me just because I like to switch things up. But of course, pens are going to be something that you would carry and to make sure that you have with you at all times, because I usually take my bag with me when I go into a meeting so I don't have to run back into my classroom, and then I can just get up and go. So I always have pens with me and on hand. The next thing that I have are sticky notes. I have a variety. I have sticky notes everywhere, and I don't particularly like these type because when I pick them up, it just like picks up like this. But I always have a variety of sticky notes, and I keep this with me usually for meetings or to quickly jot down things so I don't have to take out my big planner that I have or take out something else to write it down in my notebook. I could just write it down here. The next thing I have is chapstick. I love chapstick. I have it everywhere. You can't have a meeting without chapstick. Lotion and chapstick are probably the two things that I have the most around, either on my desk, in my classroom, in my car, in my bag, in my purse. And I don't carry a purse let me also say that I don't carry a purse inside of my classroom or into the school, which I shouldn't be telling people this. So I don't carry that stuff in with me. Sometimes I might carry just my wallet with me, like my debit card and my ID. And the last thing that's in here that I can feel is gum. I don't normally have lunch, so I chew gum instead. And I don't know what the policy is with your school, but chewing gum might be something that is very against school rules, so you may want to follow those. You can have mints or whatever, but I always have gum because that's what helps curb my appetite. I also, going into meetings, you're in small groups, especially during the time when we used to wear a mask. That's where I really started carrying. You want your breath smelling good during a meeting, okay? So gum is always great to have and just quick to have on hand, especially if you're hungry, especially if you have to go cover class and you don't really have time to have your full lunch like you normally should. But gum always comes in handy for that as well. So that is all that is in my bag. I'll put the description down for this bag. It's one of my favorite bags. I also have a backup bag that I use, which was actually my son's old backpack, which is also a Herschel. And I also have a couple other laptop bags that I used to use before. But those were a little bit too clunky for me, a little bit too big. And if you're like me, I'm very petite. I'm only 5 feet tall. Carrying a backpack when you're in middle school or a high school teacher, people are going to think you're a student all the time. But I like carrying backpacks because I like to have my hands free. I don't want to be moving around with a bunch of stuff in my hand and try to hold on to a crossbody or a messenger bag and things like that. So backpacks are the best for me. And if you want to get my free teacher planner that I use, I'll put the link down in the description. And if you have any questions for me, please put it down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.